Hi, this is Problem 11 from the 2021 AMC 10A. Emily sees a ship traveling at a constant speed along a straight section of river. She walks parallel to the riverbank at a uniform rate faster than the ship. She counts 210 equal steps walking from the back of the ship to the front, and walking from the opposite direction she counts 42 steps of the same size walking from the front of the ship to the back. In terms of Emily's equal steps, what is the length of the ship? All right, so this seems like a rate, time, and distance problem that we could probably solve with a lot of algebra, but whenever possible, I like to draw a picture of what's going on, and I think this problem lends itself to a useful picture. So let's try to map out what's happening with regard to Emily's frame of reference. So this is the distance along the riverbank, x, and this is the time elapsed, t. Now it seems as though the size of the steps and the time units of the steps are not important, so why don't we choose a convenient time step of 1 unit time per each unit step to make this graph as simple as possible. And when we do that, we realize that Emily starts at time 0 at a position we'll call 0 on the riverbank and proceeds 210 steps at a 45-degree angle on this graph, and then reaches the front of the ship, at which point she turns around and marches back 42 steps to reach the back of the ship again. So at this point she's at the front of the ship, or excuse me, the back of the ship. She reaches the front of the ship and then goes to the back of the ship. So the path of the back of the ship in this frame of reference follows this path, and so the path of the front of the ship follows this path, and this is the length of the ship that we're trying to determine. So this really comes down to finding the length of this section of line on this graph. So it seems as though we could figure out the x location of this point and the x location of this point and subtract the two to find this length. So let's pursue that path. So let's see. This time point is 210 plus 42, 252. This distance point is 210 minus 42, or 168. We can figure out this length using a proportionality of 168 times 210 over 252. So that's this length here. So this length here is then 210 minus this length, so that's 210 times 1 minus 168, 252. If you chew on this fraction, you'll find it's equal to 2/3. $70 for choice A.